The allegations against P. Diddy have been absolutely crazy. This is a man that a lot of people looked up to. You know, a lot of people, especially in the music industry, if you want to become an artist, producer, anybody who's looking to get into music and especially hip hop, looked up to Diddy, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, people like that. But to find out things like this is absolutely just disgusting and honestly just shocking because even if it's not him, take away the fact that it's him. If you were to hear this was coming from somebody, let's say just a random article on the news, like Florida man, I don't want to pick on Florida, but you know, Florida has all the crazy stories, but Florida man drugs people with horse tranquilizer, assaults them, and records them for blackmail. It's crazy. So to have it be somebody as famous and rich as this, it's crazy, bro, because you would think somebody like this would be able to have access to a lot of people who would want to be with him. So for him to force himself along with other people onto other people, from guys to women to younger people, it's crazy. Like I don't understand what goes through the mind of somebody who thinks that they can do this, think that it's okay, and continue to do it for decades, thinking that they'll just get away with it. It's crazy, and I don't really understand how not one person. Let me not say not one person because there's obviously been people that have come forward, but I don't understand how it's been so under wraps. You know what I mean? Like nobody who has been assaulted has been just outright vocal to the point where we just know their whole story. You know what I'm saying? I guess what I'm trying to say is there isn't a person that you can think of that's just leading the flagship like, hey, this happened to me. And they're just sort of like very assertive with it, you know, going on interviews, just very vocal online about what happened to them, when it happened, how it happened, and basically trying to destroy him for everything that he did to them. If that makes any sense, like, you know, you have people who are assaulted in different ways from different people, and a lot of times you'll have somebody who starts it. You know, you do have Cassie, but hers isn't necessarily the same as what I'm talking about. I'm talking about more of the drugging and, you know, assaulting people while they're unconscious. That's sort of what I'm going at, because even though he's been like sued and, you know, there's been paperwork filed in the background, there isn't somebody who's actually been like on in front of the camera leading the charge like, hey, this happened to me, this guy is terrible, let's take him down. You know what I'm saying? Like if that were the case, like when it happened years ago, I think that it would have been a lot better because, you know, a lot of people could have avoided it happening to them. I'm in no way victim blaming, but I do wish that there was somebody who was a little more vocal online. I understand that it's very embarrassing and it's something that is hard to deal with, and especially when you have people who won't believe you, when you have people who will, you know, say negative things about you because they don't know the artist or the producer, or in this case Diddy, behind the scenes, and you know all they can go off of is what they see online, which is the music, the interviews, and just the positive person that he puts himself out to be to the world. So you're going up against him, his fans, you know, his lawyers, people who will try to silence you and stuff. So I do understand that aspect of it, and at the same time you're trying to deal with the situation yourself internally and heal, you know what I'm saying? But I do wish that there was somebody who came forward so that way it could have prevented a lot of other victims from having to go through the same thing. You know, imagine if this would have happened like years ago, like decades ago, in the 90s, where people came forward and were very vocal. Obviously the internet wasn't like it is today, but you guys get what I'm saying. But this guy Diddy, man, he's actually like the worst of the worst. I think that, you know, there's a lot of crimes that you can do to people. You can rob them, you can assault them, beat them up, stuff like that. But I think that this is the worst thing that you can do is, a sexually assault somebody is actually like, in my opinion, the worst thing that you can do. It's just, it's bad, man. It's bad. And I don't think that anybody reading, or excuse me, listening to this would disagree, because I can't imagine having to go through that. And especially when you're trying to go against somebody who is literally a billionaire, and at the time, for a lot of other victims, a multi-millionaire, but same result. You're gonna be silenced. You're gonna have lawyers trying to pay you off. You're going to have all of these different things coming at you. And I feel bad for a lot of these people. Now, I'm not completely naive. Obviously, there's going to be people in every case like this, whether it's Cosby or R. Kelly, whoever, there's going to be people who come forward who claim that something may have happened to them that obviously aren't telling the truth. So I do think, not every single case is going to be accurate and true. But either way, there are going to be those that are. So if everybody wants to claim that it happened to them, there's going to be a percentage, even if it's one person that's telling the truth, which I do believe that it's going to be a lot more. Obviously, there's no way it's just one. But you get what I'm saying. Like, if one person comes forward, that's enough to make this person like the worst of the worst. I think that he should never be free ever for the rest of his life. Especially, you've been doing this for like decades. So if somebody were to do this like one time, it was one time they felt bad about it, they're still a terrible person. But for somebody to continuously do this for through the 90s, the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, we're now in 2024 going into 2025. Like, this is a long time, guys. This is over my whole life. like he been doing this since I was born. That's crazy. I don't understand, bro. And even beyond the sexual assault cases, he's been accused of being involved in the death of different people. Tupac would probably be the most known. And then there's other people as well, including, the mother of his children. I haven't like really dove too much into the other ones, but the Tupac one is crazy. It seems most likely to be true, depending on who you ask. But this guy Diddy, man, what do y'all think about him, bro? Like, I think that him, everybody else, they gotta go, man. They gotta go. Like, find them a prison cell. Don't let them change prison cells. Just keep them in that one until they rot away, bruh. Like, pack them up. You know what I'm saying? And I am interested to see who else is going to be arrested through all of this, because I watched a press conference where someone who I believe was the lead investigator or the lead prosecutor. I don't know exactly what his title was. Excuse me. I'm not exactly remembering, but it was somebody who was playing a special role in, arresting Diddy. And what he was saying was there are other names that are going to be coming forward on arrest, and they don't care how powerful they are, they're coming. And a lot of people are saying that it's going to be Jay-Z. I don't know too much about Jay-Z and allegations towards him. I would have to do a little diving into that and explore the internet, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people saying it's going to be Jay-Z and there's going to be other names. I'm just curious to see who it is. But for today's question, I want to ask you guys a simple one. How do you feel about Diddy's situation? Do you believe that he's innocent? Do you believe that he's guilty? Do you believe some of the accusations? Do you believe all of the accusations? None of them? Just how do you feel about the entire thing as a whole? Let me know how you feel down below, and I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. I'm out.